We've worked with each of these carriers, and they're each have a
There's more
special
globalization
offer for
propaganda.
Series 3. So it's going to be great. September 15th.
Look at it. It's like it's their cop. It's like they have their own.
Am I the
cop
only
buddy
one that's
show.
imagining some like squirt?
Well, no. To me, it looks like they're like Buster and Tate together again.
This looks like an emission.
Like a
bodily
you're right.
emission to me.
It is like a
Like
bunny shot.
Yeah.
But to me, it still looks like a cop buddy show.
That's the update on Apple Watch. And now back to Tim.
Now sports.
Apple Watch. Apple Watch is the ultimate device for healthy life.
This is a great template. I'm going to invite, Schmuck on to talk about the watch, and then I'm going to sum it up for a moment and just say, it's almost like saying, isn't that great, everyone? Let's have another hand for Apple Watch.
Yeah, totally.
What is that? What do you call that when people
showmanship?
Do that? Showmanship, yeah. But it's like MC, like etiquette 101.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, true. They're passing the baton.
And how about that Apple Watch? I can't wait to wear one on my arm.
Yeah.
Let's have another hand for Apple Watch. The waterproof cellular Apple Watch.
And the Series 3 takes that to a whole new level. Now, Jeff showed you some very cool things you can do with the cellular function in the Series 3. And one of those is to stream 40 million songs right on your wrist.
There's that 40 million
We made a great ad showing just that. I'd love to play it for you.
Oh, boy. Am I going to get to see some breakdancing in this ad?
I think so.
He's stalking her right now.
Oh,
he's got a skateboard. Hey, it's Tom Green.
Oh!
Yeah, breakdancing with his skateboard. This will get the millennials excited and the pre-millennials.
Now this is my kind of ad.
He's got the. I like that with the skateboards.
Whoa, dude.
Very dramatic.
Oh well, this is like the. Everybody's flipping in the air like.
Yep.
Wow. This makes me feel like I'm living in a race of like super people. And if I walk into a train station, I'm just gonna be like the one least capable of surviving. Because these people are gonna be so fit from their Apple Watch and their skateboarding that they're just gonna be. They could take me in any. I'm like, dude, I gotta start taking jujitsu or something.
That's the unconscious appeal. I think I blame that Keanu Reeves movie.
I'd like to turn your attention.
I wish this was more like Star
Apple
Trek
TV.
though. The original series.
Apple TV has changed.
Do you mean like him transporting back and forth?
Well, they had a utopian vision, but it was practical.
Sports, news, games, apps, and so much more. In fact, we've just been awarded our second Emmy for Apple TV.
Okay, so Star Trek. Maybe Star Trek's a lot further along in the future.
Maybe, yeah, that's true. And it's after the
after
Star Trek.
We sort of like get all this like wanking out of our system, then we become more functional.
Well, and after we meet
practical.
the Vulcans, it's the Vulcans who teach us how to be.
They make us rational.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they help us. Otherwise, because they were once a warlike people. That the Romulans.
They're always dangerous, right? The Vulcans, like if there's a Vulcan in the room, you never quite know if you're safe.
No, that's the Klingons.
Oh,
or yeah.
But that peace-loving.
Well, they're deadly with their disdainful look.
Yeah, but it seems like that.
And the raised eyebrow.
To be that advanced, why was it? Why did we have to like demonize the meathead Klingons and make them the warlords? And then like the Vulcans, of course, they're peaceful. Of course, they're rational. Of course, and of course they're clean. They have this clean way of looking, and they're the progressives almost.
Tough love would have probably gotten things done more quickly than their.
I don't know.
Than their passive
Wasn't there something
approach.
about Spock Wasn't there a war like where Spock had to fight Kirk or something?
Yeah, well, no,
on Vulcan?
he was, I forget what they called it, but
They were fighting over a woman.
no, yeah, he was in Must, really.
Must.
So he had to get back to, there's a time, whatever in his life, where he's got to get to Vulcan and mate. And he was to Prang, his intended, and she had a lover that she would rather be with. So there's a fight over her. I can't remember the exact
I
details.
just remember like they had these big axes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good one.
And maybe that's my main memory of Spock is when he was like in his mad.
Yeah, that's
when he
good.
was seeing red.
And he's like twitchy.
Yeah, and he just like trying to resist.
Well, that's what
his
you
violent
remember.
urges, but he can't resist.
Growing up, that was the most indelible thing on my memory was Spock when he wasn't acting like normal Spock. So that's as a child, that's like the best thing to see.
That's the level that you
That's
remember.
like, yeah, because that's like
probably
scary.
like when
That's
you
the
think
drama.
about it, it's probably like how you remember your dad.
Yeah, Dad's pissed. Uh-oh. You know, Dad. It's like, oh, you ain't acting normal today.
Okay, let's get back to this guy's a dad too.
All right.
Thank you.
More like creepy uncle.
This Emmy was in recognition for how Siri makes it so
You know, I was just gonna say he seems more like a grandma.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's dressed like Ellen DeGeneres, bro.
Yeah. It's not just the way he's dressed. Isn't it true though that some men just look like old women
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
as they age? Or is that unfair? I mean, I think men get the I think they totally get
That's why they grew beards in their old age to still look
men
virile.
have it easy. This is one way that the patriarchy exists.
Yeah.
We age gracefully.
Well, if
There's
you're fit,
no question.
Yeah, if you're fit.
It's not all men, but a great many of us do become more attractive as we age. This is what
true?
is
I
what
never
is said
noticed
about
that.
men.
Really?
Yes.
I never knew.
It's
knew
true.
that.
And I think even your most incredibly radical feminist will admit it. I don't know about that, but I do think that Tim Cook isn't one of those guys.
He could pass for an old lady pretty easily if that's what you mean.
Yeah. There's something about it, and maybe it's just like the way.
Oh, you mean how men look more?
They become distinguished.
Yeah,
and their features become sort of, even if they have the craggy face, it becomes like a character.
Yeah, maybe he looked even worse when he was younger.
Oh, it's all about relativity, man.
I just think he needs a different haircut. That's awful haircut.
What if he had like the Steve Jobs buzz?
I don't know, man. Something.
See, he can't rock that because of Steve Jobs.
He looks like an old lady in a sweater.
He can't do that, and he can't grow the stubble because he's got to not be Steve
Oh,
Jobs.
well, he could grow a real beard or a mustache.
What if
He'd
he
look
had
good.
like a big hipster motorcycle
What
beard?
he needs is a fucking mustache to fill up that, part of his face.
What if
that
it was
looks
like
real
one of
thin.
those John Waters mustaches that's real close to the
No,
edge of
like
the
just
lip?
a full mustache. It would look normal.
All right. It doesn't look like he's holding a pipe right now. Like he's about to take a little draw.
Yeah.
Or is that... Yeah. It kind of looks like
that's
a
the
little...
Apple Watch in his hand, right?
No, I think that's the master controller.
It's the key to his
Search,
his
discover, and
Audi
interact
out
with your
in the
TV.
parking lot.
Now, throughout the history of TV, there's been a few key inflection points that have changed the way we experience television.
You just said inflection
Of course,
points.
I'll begin with black and white, or true to life experience, a more immersive experience. Now, we're at the next major inflection point. One that has the most stunning visuals ever, that are ideal for the large TV screens that are coming into our...
What does inflection point mean, literally?
Or inflection. I mean, it's the thing
He's
about...
using
it's
it in
the
a
things
really...
about
I've never heard
language.
inflection point. I've never
But
heard...
what does it mean? What's the
point of
definition?
inflection. He's using it as like a shift in something. An inflection point. I think it's probably
What he probably means is change point.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he means. But is he taking a term from a term that's used in
I've
another
heard
in a
this
discipline?
inflection point thing before, and I think that's why it called out, because I don't know what it means.
Yeah,
because I don't actually know what a lot of words mean.
I'd have to Google it.
This will bring cinematic quality to virtually everything that you watch.
Cinematic quality?
That's
There is no cinematic quality.
So David Lynch, do you remember that iPhone thing?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I picture there.
Yeah.
To introduce
David Lynch is retching right now.
Apple TV 4K.
Now, if you're playing the movie on a telephone, you will never in a trillion years experience the film. You'll think you have experienced it, but you'll be cheated. It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
Apple TV 4K.
I think he's not. I think he's probably all bought into this shit by now.
Yeah, he's
At
selling
the
it.
heart of Apple TV 4K are two key technologies that are driving this next evolution of the TV experience. And to tell you all about them,
TV's
I'd
dead
like
too.
to invite Eddie to the stage. Eddie?
Thank you, Tim.
TV
It
is the
really
new
great to be here
movies.
tonight.
Yeah. Subscription TV.
Apple TV 4K
That's
is
not
incredible,
TV.
and it
to
starts
me.
with two big advancements in picture
Nor me.
quality. First is 4K. Let me show you. This is an image in 4K. It's got incredible detail. That's possible.
Just for our
because
listeners,
4K has 4 times
we are
the number
not
of pixels
watching
of
this
HD.
on a
But resolution isn't everything.
40-foot
There's an even
4K
bigger
display.
advancement that's more important. While 4K
So-
is about
Yeah.
I mean,
100 pixels,
Caretaker.
HDR
Yes.
is about
Would
better.
you be
Let me show you.
would you say this
Here's
looks
that
pretty
same
good to you?
4K image, and
On
here
your
it
screen?
is
Or
in
that?
HDR.
So now that's better, right?
Well, that's like hitting the little filter.
Oh, look how much better it is on the right.
Details.
Wouldn't you
Apple
agree?
TV can
Yeah,
do this
punch.
because
It's
it
punched
supports
up
the
like
industry
it's
standard
like a
10.
Instagram filter is what it is. That's all it is.
That's not what it is. This looks like the saturation is bumped up.
That's exactly.
No, but I mean, I'm sure if we saw it on a 100-foot 4K monitor, we would see the
guess.
difference.
I'll trust them.
State-of-the-art Dolby 4K HDR cinema projector in the theater. So let's dim the lights and let me show you the new Apple TV.
He's gonna show it to us.
Even at night, you can see incredible
That's
details in the
photoshopped.
buildings and the
It looks so
cars on the road.
fake. Doesn't that looks like a?
That's I think
Looks
that's,
like a game app.
That's what HDR does.
Shows
It makes it
off
look
crispness
super
and
super
sharpness.
real.
Everything's evened out. All the dynamic ranges.
It's like that super
Evened
realist
out.
painting in the 70s. Remember that?
Now we've redone the whole Apple TV UI in 4K.
Yo, this high-tech stuff makes it too easy. Told you it was worth it. Okay, go.
Where's
so we're just gonna watch a movie trailer now, and then
Is this a RoboCop trailer?
no, it's Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man. Okay.
Of course it is, right?
Yep. It's a guy doing cosplay in the bank.
Okay, can I just say one thing about Spider-Man?
Yeah.
So I know that people are really passionate about this out there on the internet, but I always thought Spider-Man was kind of a pussy.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked him in some of the original comics or whatever, and I even liked him on Stupid Electric Company, I think.
Yeah. And the
But
cartoon
but
is
then
really
it's
fun.
like somewhere along the line, and he's always a little guy, and he was always meek.
Yeah.
And I never thought him of that. I mean, I know that Peter Parker in the comic was supposed to be kind of like
Yeah.
one of those.
He grew out of that though in the
yeah,
comic.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, or at least one who wasn't just kind of simpering and whiny and confused all the time.
But was he even like slight like that, or was he a little more of a normal frame?
He was drawn. He was drawn like a wrestler, kind of.
Like he seems like in the new ones in these movies, he just seems like a little.
Yeah, like this looks absurd. It looks like a sketch out of the Carol Burnett show or something.
Yeah. Carol Burnett.
It does. I mean, what is it?
Whoa, you're the Avengers!
Seeing his
What are
voice
you
is
guys
super
doing
high.
here?
Yeah, he's a little kid. It's because it's for little kids, is why. I mean, everything's infantilized, dude. That's part
Maybe
of the.
I'm wrong. Maybe Spider-Man was a little kid.
No,
I don't really know shit about comics, man.
no.
Now that was great, and that was all playing on the new Apple TV
That was great.
4K.
That was lame.
So that was great, and that was all playing on this new device, which you can't tell the difference.
yeah, you can't.
Because
but you'll believe us because you believe everything we say.
Of the Apple TV We've got
This guy, I'm
powerful
gotta
18
say, I
X
kind of
fusion
like him.
chip.
Yeah, this guy's got more.
He doesn't fit the body type.
He's just got salt of the earth appeal about him.
He feels like something different.
Yeah.
Chip that's in our iPad Pro.
And I just noticed I started talking like an Italian when I was saying that.
And the new Apple TV isn't just slightly faster, it's remarkably faster. We've been working with the large Hollywood studios to bring all of the
That's where you're going to get all the great content. It's right there.
4K and HDR movie titles.
Yeah. I mean, it's all video games
So
to
now
me.
you'll-
I don't even know, like, I mean, do you get that feeling anymore when you
No.
see a 20th Century Fox? Like, do you feel like that, or any of these?
That,
Do you,
the Warner Brothers,
Warner Brothers
logo
one, does that
reminds
still
you
do something for you?
It reminds you a tad of. I mean, yeah, it's like reminds you of Bugs Bunny.
yeah, me too.
So that's.
I mean, I look at the Fox one and I go, okay, like, way back in the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, like, when I see it now, I pretty much always have the same reaction, like, this is going to be shit.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, like, I mean, I think that, like, all of the Halo's gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all
the
just
biggest releases,
lowest common
best picture
denominator
quality,
appeal to
all
reach
on
the
iTunes,
biggest
all
global
available for
audience.
the same price as HD. And if you bought one of those movies in HD from iTunes, we're going to automatically upgrade them to 4K HDR at no additional charge.
I want to get a shot of this guy's
Now, in
gut.
addition to iTunes,
So, like, do you think he, like, walks around at home without
Well,
his shirt?
definitely doesn't have it tucked in, probably for more than just fashion.
No, it's hiding. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks good. Like, that's probably what
Yeah.
I would wear
Yeah, it
if
works.
I was on stage,
it works.
you know?
He should. I would just go like I would just wear what the Cubano dudes wear. You know, like a
yeah,
shirt
yeah.
that you don't wear a shirt with a tail. That makes you look like you're some
But
punk.
that's the style. The thing I don't
Yeah.
like about the shirt, honestly, is the cuffs and the weird, the weird.
yeah,
you know,
it's.
it feels
I mean,
like
it's like you know. Do they
I
buy?
mean, that thing looks like it could be Tommy Bahama at this point.
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I
that's what I'm
mean?
saying.
Yeah.
It's like, do they sell men's clothes where you bought that?
With
sir?
the fancy buttons and
yeah,
stuff.
it's a little too fancy.
But I was actually just trying to theorize about his body and see if, like,
It looks like pajamas too. The more that you look at it.
do you think that he's, do you think he sits home and, like, rips bongs?
No, nah. He probably just drinks beer.
You think he drinks beer?
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, look at that gut. You know? I mean, unless
You know, all those Northern California people, man, they're all. I mean, everyone smokes weed.
yeah, well, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, it's hard, you know.
Don't they?
I
thought
don't know.
they
I
all
don't
lived
spend
in
time
weed
out
fields.
there. Some of them though, it's like, you know what? I bet you I'd be surprised if any of those motherfuckers smokes marijuana.
Because they wouldn't be focused enough to be successful.
Exactly. You know, they would. Yeah, it's not type A.
Yeah.
You know, these are all type A people. You know, maybe they're designers or something. Might. You know.
Not even partaking on like a biannual basis.
Maybe, yeah, like they go to Burning Man and do ecstasy or something, you know, maybe.
Wait, so like, okay, so they don't smoke weed, but they go to Burning Man and they.
Maybe, why not? I'm saying like they're not like maybe they'd smoke weed occasionally, but they're not like they don't seem at all what you would call a pot smoker.
It's funny, right? The untucked shirts and everything is just code. It's not really like rebellion.
No, oh no, it's just
fashion.
It's like it's like
I don't have $70 million.
It's like being-
No,
yeah.
no, don't ask me for money.
It's like it's like posing like a slacker when you're not a slacker is what it is. So it's like slackerdom.
It's like corporate slacker.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's more than just like
Like you're supposed to look laid back.
But isn't there this weird thing where you kind of wonder how laid back they really are? So then you
Yeah,
you kind of
entirely.
picturing like this really, really uptight, greedy motherfucker
Yeah.
in like the untucked shirt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that somehow seems wrong.
Yeah, it does seem wrong.
It's
Totally.
wrong.
It's totally wrong. It's like when Letterman wears sneakers under his lame suits, It's like not, and who cares, dude? You're not.
But this guy kind of can see him just like kind of walking through a casino, like he could be a pit boss. So like he doesn't talk like it.
No.
But like I could see him like wearing that, even though you're supposed to be
yeah.
buttoned up. I could see him like letting it all hang
Yeah.
out. you know.
Yeah, it's got that kind of style to it.
Yeah, he's not quite
We've
like.
been working with leading streaming providers like Netflix to bring their 4K HDR titles to Apple TV.
He needs
and
a
later
little
this
more,
year,
like,
Amazon
sweat
Prime
in the
Video with
pits.
all of their 4K HDR titles and originals as well. Now, last year, we introduced the Apple TV app.
Is that?
Were any of those movies any good?
Is that a superhero
That was
movie?
from, yeah, that was the Cutie Pie. That was the little Cutie Pie character that was the star of the last Star Trek movie, which was the most disgusting thing
I saw that.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was terrible.
On the screen. It was 100% joke. It was absurd. It was offensive.
I thought it was bad, but
It
I
was
think
horrible.
I thought last three were bad.
And Idris Elba. The only one I identified with was the Idris Elba, the evil who wanted to kill everybody. I mean, yeah, kill these people are lame. Kill them. These human beings suck. I'd rather have the aliens take over.
Yeah.
They're got more character.
Yeah. I don't remember that part, but just you saying that, I identify more with that part.
It's been available in the U.S., and today I'm happy to announce that we're bringing it to 7 additional countries.
Look how cute they make the
Canada,
flags
Australia,
look.
later this month,
If they were
the rest-
square, it'd be a little too patriarchal.
What if all flags became circular?
Yeah, circles. Circles are nice. There's no sharp edges. There's no places that are, everything's equal. You know, it's nicer that way. I like it.
I like it.
You could make them into a ball and bounce it.
You can. You make it into a button on a phone.
Now,
Yeah.
For each country, it's really important that we have the content that those customers know and love, and that's why we're adding all of these local services to Apple TV. Now, later
Here's like
this
another
year,
shout out
Apple
to the-
TV
Holy
will
sh-
do even more, because
Shout
we're
out to
bringing live
the
sports,
shareholders.
so you'll never miss a game. If you're a
Oh,
huge
live
sports fan
sports.
like I am,
This is what's
you're
going to
really
make it a
gonna
big
love
deal.
this feature.
Yeah,
If
definitely.
your favorite team is playing on ESPN, it'll automatically appear right first in the up next list. You'll see even more.
It's like
games.
in the future,
In
it's
addition,
going to
we're bringing
be
live news to the TV app.
Apple.
Now let's take a look at those games.
and
As you can
Google
see, we'll show you the score and the
and
time
Face-
remaining to help you decide which game to watch.
And Amazon.
Live and upcoming games.
Netflix.
And as
Yeah,
the seasons
Netflix is
change,
pretty big,
Facebook.
but
Sports app always showing what's
Netflix
what's
is-
best for you. Now,
that
sports
Apple's
in the
gonna make
TV app is a
Netflix
real
obsolete.
game
I think it's
changer for sports
Amazon.
fans.
Amazon.
Of course, the new
Amazon and
TV app is
Apple, because
available on
Amazon's the
iPhone
biggest.
and iPad
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
trying to. They're
Hey,
competing
what do you
with Amazon.
like?
If you own an iPad
I
or
like
iPhone,
Amazon.
there's
They're-
no better choice
This is
than
their.
Apple TV.
Yeah, they're
I
trying
like
to.
their value.
This is them trying to take
Photos
on
big screen,
Netflix and
including live
Amazon.
photo effects, 4K video
But-
mixes. You can play from the over 40 million songs in Apple Music, including the music.
That's the third fucking time they mentioned the 40 million songs.
Yeah, 40
okay,
million.
so seriously, I want to know, like, no one gives a about 40 million
No.
songs. They can get 40 million songs anywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I mean, yeah, you like your ecosystem and all. I've got my iTunes, everything's on
especially
iTunes.
with the friggin'
Yeah,
cloud.
but fucking, I mean, the
Yeah.
Spotify, iTunes, I don't believe
You don't
in
have
this
to have them.
loyalty.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to go with whoever's going to give you the fucking 100 million songs that are out there.
Yeah.
And music is so incredibly devalued at this point.
Yeah, it's true.
That like
When
it
there's
doesn't
40
even
million,
matter.
when it's 40 million of them, that's like how much.
Especially when people are like putting their day into categories like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to listen to up music for my workout.
Yeah,
And now it's time to relax.
yeah.
I'll listen to relax playlist. Now I'm going to party.
Yeah, it's sad. It's like it's the culture that I grew up identifying with. You know, bye.
I'm just as victim to it as anybody.
I miss AM radio is what I miss.
I listen to the Spotify all the time. iTunes, I to be honest, as much as they say Apple always works, I can't figure out how to use Apple products sometimes. And
Yeah.
iTunes is one of them.
Yeah.
Like if they were just to like come out at one of these Apple events and say, we fixed sync.
Yeah.
Everyone would go, yeah, oh yeah. It's like you turn off everything to avoid Apple deleting all your shit.
Yeah.
That's basically what it boils down to. Like you just say, no, I don't want that because I know what'll happen.
Yeah.
And what'll happen is it'll fucking delete all my songs and all my email and everything. But you don't hear that shit
No.
because no one ever talks that way because it's all tucked away in their discussion forums where no Apple employee ever ventures and people can just sit in a vacuum. But what's funny is it doesn't matter because for them to fix it would make it easier for you not to be part of their giant system. Remember when he said, "Oh, we planned this all along." That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That your friends are listening to. And because Apple TV is always home, you get anywhere, anytime access to all of your HomeKit accessories. Collection in the Smithsonian, which is very, very cool. So with that, I would love to welcome their CEO, Genova Chen.
I couldn't think of anything to say during that part.
Genova.
At that game company, we treat
What kind of
games
name is that?
as an art form. Today,
He probably came up
many
with that
of us
name.
play games alone. But we believe games
It's like the Chinese version of a black name, is what it sounds like.
Did he say they were from
exactly what
Shanghai?
we are going to do with our new game.
Well, yeah, probably. He's definitely
Together with me is
mainland,
my
dude.
colleague Mike. And Mike, why don't we take off? Sky is a romantic social adventure game where you
Well, that
fly
looks pretty
above the
fun.
clouds to
Yeah.
explore
You gonna be a
the
little
wonders
horse,
of
or is it a
mysterious
girl?
world.
It's some creature.
The game is
Some
designed to
cute
be
It's kind of like a
creature.
My Little Pony with a mushroom cape.
Yeah.
The control
Something.
is simple and intuitive. Everything can be done with one finger on the serial
I'm
remote.
terrible at flying on.
Wait, did you hear him say everything can be done with one finger?
Yeah.
Does that sound fun?
Yeah.
That sounds like way too much like trouble to move one finger.
Yeah.
in
That sounds
this
like
little
it's worse to
pattern.
move one finger for everything than
Yeah.
to have,
Like, I mean, every time I play a game, it's like I miss having a joystick.
Yeah,
and
you
I know
want
that's
two
just
hands.
because I'm old and all that. But
Yeah.
like, it's being able to put some kind of arm
Yeah.
leverage into a thing.
Yeah. It's more.
Even
it's-
the PS2 or whatever,
Yeah.
the PlayStation controllers, where it's like you get triggers.
And
It's
you got
all,
those little joysticks.
It's basically opposing forces of your fingers against the butts or the heels of your hand.
Yeah.
But with a joystick, you're holding this one piece, and you got this other piece
Yeah.
that you're holding, and it's super phallic or masturbatory or whatever. But you're pressing it,
Yeah.
and you're like feeling your arm, and you're kind
Yeah.
of moving it and
Yeah.
slamming it into position, and like, I don't know, there was just something cool about that.
I think so. I agree.
One finger.
It's Mike's friend Jeff, and he's asking us to follow him.
That's his
Let's see
friend
what he
Jeff
has
there?
discovered. Compassion
In
and
the
generosity
virtual world, I think.
are key
Oh.
to unveil hidden areas of the
He's
world,
got fangs?
Are they like
as well
little
as growing your
I
character.
can't tell what these
By
things
lighting
are.
all the candles,
They're like
Jeff
pigs
and
with.
Mike was able to summon the spirit.
But they got ponytails.
There's a. Yeah, it's like a Chinese derived
In
universal.
Sky, we really take advantage
But it's
of
feminized.
powerful
The whole
new
thing
hardware.
feels
Yeah,
like
they
it's super
definitely. Oh
feminized.
yeah, super feminized for
And
sure,
Apple TV's
or infantilized at
10X
least. I mean, I guess that
We're
yeah,
able to run the game
but most things
smoothly
feminine
with
are
these detailed clouds,
childish.
intelligent creatures.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we went there.
Well, I don't think women actually and feminine things are childish, but things that are marketed to women. Feminine
man.
marketing is marketed.
Don't try and back off of
We don't have time
Yeah.
to show every important themes of the game.
I don't mind getting
In Sky,
Socratic
you
with.
play as
We should do these live. So
Erratic
it's just like a
people.
live stream, so we can't take anything
Oh,
back.
that would be wonder. When we'll get there. When we get there, we'll get there.
We'll get there. Let's not rush it.
No, you can't rush that kind of thing.
You know, I feel like we're talking over this guy, and I think what we basically figured out is anyone who's not a white man doesn't get our attention.
I guess that's kind of true. As you can probably say that on this point.
We just talk
But I didn't
over
care.
the woman, and we talk over the
I
Chinese
wasn't
guy.
listening to the white guy either. I would have been
We
talking.
were quiet. We were sitting
Well,
there listening like we were hanging
I
on
felt
his
like
every
I
word.
had to
I was
listen to
falling
him.
asleep, frankly.
I
but
mean,
it sounds to our listeners like we were just like,
Well, that one guy,
enraptured.
the only guy I wanted to listen to was the floor walker, dude, the pit boss.
oh yeah,
He seemed like an engineer.
Yeah,
who have something to say. Like, I've worked
seemed
on
like
this shit. He didn't have that marketing appeal. And this guy, he's describing a fucking cartoon, and I tuned the fuck out at that point. It's like, oh, look at this. It's pretty lights and it's little cutesy colors. I don't identify with any of it, and I'm not going to play this game. This game would, looks like a
don't
nightmare.
feign enthusiasm.
I can't relate to any of this.
This is 2.5 hours of my time.
That's all lucre evaporating from your
What is that?
vault. It's fireflies.
With the light, Mike was able to free all the butterflies, and together
Butterflies.
they move on to the next part
And
of the
together-
adventure.
He's describing the
Live
rules of the
orchestral
dude. This
soundtrack
is
and
ridiculous.
cinematic experiences.
They just want to show off the
Expect
story,
immerse
and they had to
in
have him,
ever-expanding
you know.
world.
I mean, you know what? Let me just say right now, respect to you, dude.
Yeah,
Don't be offended. And whoever that is in the back running the show,
yeah.
you guys, this is cool. I love your game. It's awesome. I've never played it, but it's fine. You're just the victim of our general lack of enthusiasm for this type of thing.
Yeah,
but I bet you're an amazing fucking person.
I'm sure a lot of people will love
I'm
this.
sure that people are gonna I bet kids all over the world
Yeah,
are just gonna
that's-
like
yeah.
spend their whole life playing this game.
Yeah,
but I just, you know, it's true.
it's like-
it's you are on that stage, and by stepping onto that stage, I feel you open yourself up
No,
for
it's not-
any
he's-
criticism
I'm not-
that I
it's
feel
the game.
fit to give.
My criticism isn't towards these people. It's like that game looks like crap. It looks like a weird.
I'm criticizing the people too,
No, well, yeah,
and I'm just saying,
I
if you
guess I'll
step on
criticize
this
some-
stage,
yeah, they're totally. They're public.
it's fair game, eh?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, especially with this creepy, corporate spiel of this utopian dream that's to
Doesn't that look like it should be the Apple headquarters at the top of that
guess.
cloud with the
I mean,
with the,
I don't
the
understand.
trinity of the three
it's like
lights?
it's like a weird pseudo.
And then there's the trees, the
It's a
9,000 trees they planted in the asphalt forest.
Yeah, it's some weird pseudo heaven. It's so soporific.
This whole bright white thing is this thing
Yeah.
we've been working on, right?
Me no like.
And it's not heaven. It's limbo.
Yeah, that's true. It is.
It's purgatory.
Yeah, it is a form of purgatory.
But it's blissful purgatory.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Because it's in between right and wrong.
yeah.
Right? Because, well, we are rabid capitalists, but we are helping
Yeah.
people with atrial fibrillation, and we are empowering women the world over.
Yeah, it's
Right?
playing both.
We're doing, and we are taking advantage of slave labor in China, but we're designing it in Cupertino.
Do you think he hired the slaves himself to put this game together?
I mean, I don't know. There's slaves all over this fucking industry, man.
true.
Like, it's crazy.
It's
I don't
awful.
know. I don't even know who uses them at this point. I feel like it's.
the whole yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It looks like
All
it,
I'm saying is that looks like
it looks like
a hat.
it looks like Walt Disney took a shit.
It looks like a great big hat.
It looks awful. And look at the chemtrails even they've got in the background.
Oh, there's an angle.
Hands with your loved ones and play Sky exclusively on Apple TV, iPad, and iPhone.
They're trying to do like the movie. They think this is like Avatar, It's like this game is gonna
Wow.
Thanks, Geneva.
turn on the world or something. I don't know.
We can't wait for you to get your hands
That
on
is just
Sky.
I can't
We're so excited
imagine
about
that
the new
game
Apple
being
TV
that appealing in
4K.
its design.
It's got
It's
powerful
so oddly
hardware
innocuous.
that delivers stunning
Leanodyne.
4K HDR
The
video.
game?
Yeah, look at that
Okay,
game.
but see, the game, I think the game
Maybe once you
wasn't
play
what
it,
it was about. It was, so they sat in a room and they're like, which game should we
yeah,
feature?
use the demo.
And it was like, okay, so I mean, I'm wondering about all this, like who
Yeah.
they choose to feature, and it's like, well, I could picture them sitting around, and be like, well, there's a really great story here. They've got a great story of taking the light and bringing it to those who need it most. That's like, this is a great story, and not only that, it's not a shooter game. It's this game about, it's sort of like emotional intelligence, I think, is what they were getting at with some of that.
Well, yeah,
it's because you learn how to unlock magic things from the beings, and I think the sports is more interesting.
Sports, along with live news,
NBA
TV
sucks.
shows, and movies, all in the TV app, and the perfect big screen companion for your iPhone or iPad. The new Apple TV 4K starts at $179.
This guy's actually seems okay, right?
Well, he's got
Are we like synced up on this? This guy's all right.
Well, this guy's got an appeal that seems natural. It doesn't seem like he's trying to hypnotize us in
He's
this.
got swagger. Let's just say
he
he's got
does.
swagger.
He's got.
Joins the existing one. You can order it starting on September 15th, and it ships just a week later. That is the new Apple TV 4K. Thank you, and I'd like to turn it back to Tim.
Okay, I'm also just going to say one more thing about this guy. So he I think his likability comes from his gut.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, true that. He doesn't look
Like
like
if he
a
was
weird
one of those
cartoon
trim,
character.
like, you know, CrossFit dudes, I would be like,
All those fuckers look the same.
get out of here, man. I think there's a whole new world for us people with coming.
Maybe so.
Thanks, Eddie. I can't wait for you to experience the beauty and the magic of the cinema right in your living room with the Apple TV 4K.
Do you have anything for that?
I guess if you're watching old movies.
Next up.
That would be the beauty and the power of the cinema, wouldn't it?
Maybe. I think that's the only power of the cinema left is behind us.
Apple has always believed that technology infused with humanity could improve people's
See,
lives.
that right there is fucked up.
I don't think anyone else agrees with you.
Oh, that's wrong. It's wrong.
Technology infused with humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see who's doing the infusing?
Who?
We're being infused.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what it is. But they're trying to make you think, oh yeah, this is this is a nice technology because it's not mean technology. Technology is neither nice nor mean. It either works or it doesn't work. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
It's all they're getting us ready to, become.
Bend us over the edge of the couch.
The whole goal is
Change the
to
world.
take our brains and put us into
No
robots.
other device in our lifetimes have had
They
the
dream about
impact
this
on
shit,
the
dude. I'm
world
not making that up.
the iPhone
As
has.
ridiculous as it sounds.
Did you hear what he just said?
What?
He said no other device in history or something has had the impact on the world the iPhone has.
They believe it. And
No, he's right.
he's
F***ing right.
not this. Yeah, it's got a unique impact.
No, he's absolutely f***ing right. But not in the way that he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, the writing on the wall is for that, for sure. But I don't know. I'm not saying.
I've never heard a truer statement than that.
Yeah,
Nothing else
it's still hype
has
to me.
become so essential or put so much power into so many people's hands than iPhone. It's truly amazing how much iPhone
Oh my f***ing God. What the f*** is going on there?
They have a candlelit selfie going on, right?
But he's talking about this meaningful impact.
And then they're like,
And this is what it is?
Yeah, that's what everybody aspires to. I mean, that's the, have to have nice eyebrows and to look beautiful and have a beautiful friend.
This is really surprising to me. I thought there would be like a totally like trans positive, fat positive, super, diverse, ethnic.
It's still Barbie dolls.
These, I mean,
fashion magazines.
they've made sure the eyebrows are accentuated to try and reduce the whiteness, but
yeah,
I mean, for all intents and
They're
purposes,
one of
this
them's
is
Mediterranean.
this is not what we would call an ethnically diverse portrayal.
No, not at all. But it's a slideshow, probably. We have just seen the first.
Okay, all right.
impacts the world each and every day.
I like how it's like a selfie
Our
moment,
intention
is what
with
he's talking
iPhone
about, the real
has
power of it.
always been able to create something so powerful, so immersive, and so magical that the hardware virtually disappears.
So do you think he has to do that on purpose? So powerful.
He's practiced it.
He's not really feeling that.
No, he has to say it, otherwise we would fall
Over
asleep.
the last 10 years, how we interact with technology.
And what's annoying is the way he
by
paces
introducing
back and
multitasking.
forth. It just makes him seem like he's not really sure what he's saying. He's like, "Look, I'm trying to figure this out here, and I'm gonna make you believe what I'm saying." This really,
What if he just like paced back and forth and sort of like had his hands clasped at the small of his back, and he looked at his shoes the entire time he talked.
Yeah.
And he just walked really quickly from one end of the stage to the other with his hands behind his back.
It would be more natural. It would be. It would be more entertaining.
That's the first iPhone, apparently.
Yeah, I think I recognize it.
And I would just like to say, when that first came out, I was the first person to make fun of it.
All right. Congratulations.
Software instead of buttons. It's magical.
I remember, you know what I miss?
Yeah.
I miss the BlackBerry.
Yeah.
You know what I really miss about the BlackBerry?
The keys.
The keys and the camera. That was the
Oh,
best.
yeah, it had a good camera.
It was the best, like a fake analog or whatever you want to call it, interface that you could you could do actually photographic things. It wasn't all just
they tried to make it real.
Yeah, and it was you could manipulate it easily, like in all sorts of cool ways.
No, it's.
I miss that.
The
camera.
iPhone cameras are. I mean, I honestly think they're
It's
shit.
like a machine taking over.
It's just
you
terrible.
have no freedom.
All right, well, so let's just take this opportunity to talk about the machine taking over for a minute, because that's really what Apple's all about.
Yeah, pretty much.
As a paradigm, that's what it's about. But it's also about simple design.
Yeah, cute and simple.
So what we have is a software philosophy, a hardware philosophy, which purports to know which use is the most likely. In other words, we're taking features and we're paring them down to the ones that we know you will most likely need. And so what you end up with is this lack of control.
Yeah.
Lack of configurability. This is the big argument with Apple, is that they've taken it and made it simple and great, and it's just simple and it's just easy. And the truth is, yes, it is just easy. But if you remember when things were a little more under your control, Apple is exactly what you just said.
It's like a cognitive, it's a behavioral conditioning to mass conformity.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
It's
but it's interesting how it happens, right? Through a programmatic. Yeah. It's not just propaganda.
No, well,
it's through design.
Yeah, it is through.
It's not like they're out there going, with their big marketing message. They don't have to. The message is in what they build.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, people love it.
They fucking love it
because they don't want. Yeah, they want to identify with something so badly. That's what I really don't understand. You 97% out there. There's no other corporation that people identify with as much as they do Apple, ever. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I think
that's
ever.
True.
I think that's a fair estimate. Ever.
Like really identify.
Feel that they
like
are close
they would get
to.
mad, like kind of like Bob Dylan fans or Beatle fans.
Yeah.
If you said something mean about, it hits them personally in a sense. They feel like they're personally being judged by their choice. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying that, but I bet there's a few out there.
Yeah, I would say there's definitely more than a few. I mean, I was just watching some video yesterday when I was searching for this on the internet. Some YouTuber called Justine or somebody who's like an Apple product reviewer, or maybe just a tech reviewer.
Yeah,
she does like unboxings and she does, I guess product reviews and in general. But anyway, she was so excited that she was going to go to the Apple event that she was, she's kind of losing her shit, and then we're just kind of rambling on, but. She's in that white limbo room.
Yeah.
Like in her podcast, she's sitting at a white desk and the white wall.
Sterile.
And the reason for that is because all of the devices look wonderful in the reflection of the white. Because they have that incredible reflection on the surface. It's kind of like, a studio lit whatever. And I thought, I think this is real. Like, I don't think she's actually faking it.
No, of course not.
I mean, she might be pumping up the power for her listeners and for her popularity.
Yeah.
But I think she actually believes that going to this event is going to be as incredible as she says it is.
Yeah, of course she does. People are apeshit for anything when Apple comes out. I mean, that's always in the news. It's like Grateful Dead is in town and they're waiting out for tickets.
All right, so let's be honest.
What?
First of all, let's never lie.
Yeah.
On this show.
Uh-oh.
I mean, we can fake things to be funny, or try and make people like us, but let's not tell existential lies. Okay?
Agreed.
All right. So I think every motherfucker out there, no matter how cynical, no matter how smart, no matter how woke, is going, I kind of want that. Somewhere in their soul, there is a desire that's being triggered for these devices are triggering it. True or false?
I can't say that. I don't know. I have no idea. But whether
when they talk about, is there not? I mean, and it's totally. If it's just not the case, it's not the case. is there anything that these things do that you sort of feel
that I
yeah,
personally would
I'd like to do that.
That I would like?
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy with a cheap Android. I would be happy if they disappeared.
If Apple disappeared.
Smartphones.
Oh yeah, me too.
I would be glad if they disappeared.
Okay, I would be too. But I'm saying, is there some effective hook that they've come up with? Because I feel like, I use an iPhone. I'm stuck in the Apple universe because of my background, or in some creative capacity that was always kind of just shoved down my throat.
Yeah.
I was the guy with the PC who could never get the files onto the drive, and everyone just sort of roll their eyes and go, "Oh, isn't he behind the times?"
Well, Windows did really suck for quite a while. I don't know if it sucks now. I haven't used it out of much quite a while.
You can't just like
Linux,
brush it
man.
off and be like, "Oh man, I'm not following you." Really. I mean, you got to understand.
No, it's not that I'm fault, but never mind.
I was rambling, but
I don't mean to bust your balls.
No, go with me.
Yeah,
and accept this idea of Apple as the creative OS.
Yeah.
That is the creative hardware, the ecosystem, whatever the it
they
is.
They got that. Yeah, it's creepy. It's totally creepy.
But here's where I was leading with all this, and that is that I think the reason that continues to be valid is because every person on Earth wants to think of themselves as a creator.
Yeah, they got that image for sure, and yeah, that's what helps. Like that's why they show these dumb little gimmicks that ultimately don't appear very practical, but they claim will teach you how to be a filmmaker or whatever, and they're, I don't know, or how many people actually use GarageBand, that don't end up, if they do use GarageBand, end up using something better than GarageBand. If really...
Don't you feel like I should say, well, so-and-so recorded their last album on GarageBand. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But
I think it was the White Stripes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did it. And then they pressed it on a wax cylinder and tied it to a balloon.
No. You know, the way they're doing it now is their record cutter is a hummingbird.
Yeah,
that's
like
tied
in the Flintstones.
And they yell at it.
Yeah, and it goes, my beak is killing me.
Store changed the way we work.
This is going to go on forever
play,
now.
Learn, communicate, spawning new companies and new industries along the way.
I feel like it's been a long time.
We took the viewing experience to places literally never seen before with technologies like the Retina display.
I don't trust him when he starts putting the mustard on all the statements like that. I just tune
What do you
out.
mean by mustard?
Oh, technologies that you've never really seen before.
That does seem kind of like it does seem kind of like the
like he's buttering up something that's
tell.
Yeah, exactly. You got to show, man.
Features like iMessage and FaceTime that allowed us all to connect in more meaningful ways. And with Siri, we used artificial intelligence to make our voices more powerful.
Wow.
iPhone even revolutionized security and privacy.
Our voice is more powerful. What a load of bullshit. Does anybody actually buy that? They're like trying to, that's like they're testing that as some kind of marketing. It's like a meme. It's like the whole logic, asinine logic behind memes. That's the sad thing about memes. There's half the world is entertained by their audacity and the comedy of it. And the other half of the world embraces the reductive logic of all of them. It's, show me a true meme and I will, I don't know what, but I will be shocked.
Show me a true meme.
Yeah. That's not just whatever. That's not obvious. I mean, there's no insightful true memes. I mean, that's like, Proverbs or whatever. That's like Axiom.
Okay, so
all boring.
Do you mean like internet meme?
Yeah.
Or do you mean like classical meme?
Oh, what's a classical meme?
I don't know. Do you mean like sort of like...
I'm talking about what the crap people post on Facebook.
Like a photo meme kind of thing?
I guess.
With the text on it?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out if I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, some people, they're all, a lot of them are either funny or audaciously simplistic and overly naively sincere about something.
All right. even though this has nothing to do with what he just said, it has everything to do with everything that we're doing right now.
How so?
The photo with the text is almost like an opportunity to make a joke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the way I see it.
Right?
Or to, you know...
And yet, it also becomes just one more way to say F you.
Yeah. Or, I mean, a lot of them, the sad thing to me is when people look at them as a way to look at something, you know, they see memes as insightful. There are people who share memes, you know, as if it's like, ooh, wow, that's amazing, you know. But there's like a, you know, I don't know what the word exactly is, but there's always a presumption there that is taken for granted in the meme, that the logic never holds up in any of those, you know.
Or they just seem so full of themselves and self-satisfied.
Yeah, until that's like hang in there,
you
know, it's like obvious and trite. Or I don't know, but they're so popular. It's the way. It's like it's what fascinates me.
I guess what I mean is
people love that.
I guess what I mean is the reason it's an opportunity to make a big joke is because it's media.
Yeah.
So it's like a picture of a cat hanging from a branch with spaghetti on its head.
Yeah.
It's like there is the opportunity to subtitle.
Yeah.
That moment in media or whatever it is, right? Because it's always a picture of Nicolas Cage or whatever.
Exactly.
So like. Therein seems to be what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Is taking the opportunity because it feels like the only opportunity is a joke.
To have power or something?
Maybe it's a power urge. But I guess what I'm saying is like when we're looking at this media right now, and we're looking at this guy pace the stage, aren't we really just doing the only thing we could logically do?
Mm.
In other words, rather than watch and consume and agree and or just ignore.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between is like the obligation that we have is to make the joke.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's begging.
Yeah.
Where I feel like there's this wonderful opportunity. Almost every image is so loaded.
Yeah.
And yet, like you said, it becomes this self-aggrandizing, looking inward, kind of like to your own bias and to make some political point it's always to assert yourself or the power thing.
Or a group thing.
How do we do this podcast and avoid the same fate as the meme?
Well, that we get to the ugly truth, and it's not going to always be pretty.
We try to remember that we're just total piece of shit. Like
I wouldn't say that.
Kenny Shopson said, "Once you're a piece of shit, it's not so bad because you're not worried about being so terrific all the time."
I don't claim.
That's what he said.
Well, I would look at it as I don't claim to know all the answers, but I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand. That's all.
I think that's what'll keep us from.
That's all.
I think it's
I'm
entirely
really curious.
you. I think it was up to me, it would be over in an episode. But I think with you in the mix, we might have a chance.
Intelligent, far more capable, far more personal than ever before.
This guy just makes me snicker.
Huge iPhone news for you today. And it gets started right now.
This is the one you were talking about.
It's rose gold.
The rose gold one.
Maybe it's an inflection point.
Yeah, maybe. It's where it's where culture is colliding. The different demographics, you know, the hoi polloi are all agreeing on the luxury item. It's kind of a tacky color. It definitely, you know, it's garish. Makes me think of J-Lo, to be honest. It's bling. It's totally fucking bling, right? A fucking rose gold iPhone? Come on. That's as bling as it gets for like that kind of nerdy technology. Phones are cheap. I mean, the bling is flash. Bling is like just something that's showing off your, you know.
Is the whole world phoned up now? Like, I mean, is the whole is it just? I mean, like, I don't even know the stats. Like, maybe like when we do the edit, we'll put some statistics. Or
Okay,
something.
cool.
But I mean, like, what's the portion of the world that owns a phone at this point?
Probably, yeah. I guess in terms, it's probably a matter of the towers, right? We got to get a copy of RC Radio Communications Report. That's not necessary.
I don't think we're going to be able to keep this a secret for very long, and the reason I'm going to say that is because I think our show is going to be picked up by major media.
Wow.
And
I just want to be on the Today Show.
We're going to get bought. Once this gets on YouTube, we'll get a couple million views.
It'll be bigger than Gamergate. I want the ad dollars, Luker.
Yeah. You can't get ad dollars if you say sad things.
Nah, true.
They already put everybody in the tank.
Yeah.
So if you say things that aren't happy and simple and cute, they put your video in a column that has a red color.
Well then, no holds barred.
So that's when the brands don't see you as their ambassador anymore.
Well, that's good because then we're press. We're not advertising.
I was thinking about who you think, like, who do you think the sponsors of this show? The way I want to do this show, I was figuring out who we want to advertise. And if they don't advertise or on our show, they will be responsible for the ads we create.
Oh.
So it's kind of like extorting the companies.
I don't know. That's yeah, it's interesting.
What would this radio ad be? What brand do you want to do?
We're talking multinational. How
it could be whoever.
I don't care. I really don't care.
Oh man, this is definitely one of those moments where you wonder what it's going to sound like later.
iPhone 8. This is a huge step forward for iPhone. And to tell you all about it, I'd like to invite Phil to the stage. Phil?
This guy's like totally useless, I'm realizing. The other guy is like totally useless. It's funny that he's so unattractive. You think they'd have more, to make you pay attention. He's so uncharismatic. And then he doesn't say a goddamn thing.
The design is all new. It has glass in both the front and the back.
Wow.
The aluminum
So it can break on both sides now. Wonderful. You'll have to use tape to hold it together.
Space gray.
Doesn't Casio make a phone you could throw against the wall and it works? I mean, come on.
Hey man, this is aerospace grade aluminum.
If aliens came down from another planet, they'd be scratching their heads.
Why are they doing this?
Yes.
Oh, but they have rose gold.
Yeah.
Doesn't this guy look like he's about to just like pump up the jams?
Yeah, he's getting geeked.
It looks like he's making a point.
He's got a lot of kinetic energy going.
And the glass is further reinforced by an internal laser welded steel and copper structure. We're so excited because this glass is the most durable ever in a smartphone.
Ooh, my phone was made by a laser. Mine was made by a photon torpedo.
It's also microscopically sealed for water and dust resistance.
Look at that. There's more of that jism on the phone. It's a theme.
Shot.
I wish my
the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, Apple Retina displays
these are just weird, bad stock advertising photos.
Look at that terribly sad photo.
Yeah. Quality color gamut. We've built in our 3D touch technology into the display, and for the
that nappy fro.
An iPhone display, it is our True Tone technology. Now with True Tone, it adapts the color.
Do you feel like we could be clapping right now and not knowing why? With our True Tone technology, yeah,
exactly.
Right. Like if we had no feed from the audience, like we might think that was one of the applause points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like it. Is he going to explain
Along
it?
with the displays, iPhone 8 and 8 Plus have new stereo speakers as well.
Oh, poor Colin. I always feel sad when I see his image.
Me too. 7, and they have a deeper bass too.
Hey, that's nice. We all like more bass.
Incredible. We call it A11 Bionic.